So hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Kieran, and why should you listen to me? Because I've been a men's dating coach since 2018. I've been in the dating and confidence space since about 2001, and I've been helping thousands and thousands of men all around the world. But also, with regards to this topic, I also am an author of erotic fiction too. So I have a book which is out right now, which is called N-Word. 85-year-old white woman dies and is immediately reborn in the body of a 23-year-old black OnlyFans and Instagram model. She then goes on a rampage of drink, drugs, sex and violence, where she's making up for what she didn't get to experience in her first life while dealing with the ramifications of 85 years worth of pain, misery, remorse and regret. That book is deeply erotic and sensual now. It's getting great reviews. It's in the description. Read it if you want, but basically it's like this. I know a lot about this type of stuff. Now, when it comes to speaking dirty, because that's what we're talking about now, talking dirty, the main thing for you to know is that there's a fundamental difference between the male brain and the female brain as it pertains to sexuality. What that means is that men, sexually, we're like on and off light switches. It's one of the reasons why we are ready to go so much quicker than women. Because as a man, me and you, we will see an attractive woman and we will get aroused. It just happens immediately, right? Or she'll touch you, you get turned on, that kind of thing. With women, it takes a while. It's like women are like the light with the dimmer switch that goes, it starts off and it slowly turns to on. Very, 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 very slowly. And it gets brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. A mistake that men make is thinking that women have the same mold as us, which they don't. For instance, you hear women complaining about men sending dick pics. Why do they complain about that? They complain because when it is being sent, a woman who usually isn't particularly aroused is being confronted, slapped in the face with male sexuality. And let's say in terms of her arousal, she's at a 0 or 1 or a 2 or a 3 or something like that. On a scale of 1 to 10, him sending that picture, it's like a 7 or an 8 or so. It's really far and it feels very vulgar. But that gives you the impression, or women's reaction to these pictures will give you the impression that women don't like that kind of stuff, but they clearly do. For instance, have you heard of women loving to see men who are in grey sweatpants? You hear them say that all the time. You see that online all the time. The grey sweatpants thing. What do women love about sweatpants? They love the outline that it makes. It leaves something to the imagination. It's like a hint. It's a subtle hint of what lies underneath, right? And that is very alluring to a woman who isn't particularly aroused already. And also, women, obviously they're more judged for being sexual than us anyway. So as a result, they're not that comfortable leaning into things to the degree that we are. But the dick pic, it's too much and too soon. I'm telling this to you because when you are trying to speak dirty, you have to be aware of where the woman is at, and you build very slowly. The first thing that you're going to do is you are going to paint a scene. So you need to be aware that when you're speaking dirty, every word actually counts. Okay? Now, women aren't just about the physical act. When it comes to sensuality, men see sex as itchy and scratchy from The Simpsons. Bang, 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 fight, 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 boom, boom, boom. With women, it's more like the entire saga of Game of Thrones. It's layered, it's intricate, there are highs and there are lows. You want to paint a picture. So you might say, let's say you're on the phone or something, you might say, okay, so imagine there is me and there is you. And we are on the beach. We're on the beach in Bali and it's dark, it's nighttime, it's moody. The moon is shining in the distance. All around you can hear the waves crashing against the shore. And we are there with our cocktails. There's nobody on this beach. It's just me and it's just you. With me and you on this beach. Your head is resting against my chest. Your head is resting against my strong and very muscular chest. And you can hear me now. You sip on your cocktail, and the cocktail is slowly intoxicating your body, very slowly, and you're starting to get a little bit drunk. Now the point is this: you're setting the scene, providing details. You're in Bali, it's nighttime, there's a cozy and sensual atmosphere, the cocktails. Paint the scene and let her describe it. Notice that nothing that I said there was inherently sexual. Nothing. But notice that the way it was spoken was. What did I do? Deepen the voice. Slow down the way that you speak. This is what you want to do. It's not so much what you say, but how you actually say it. Do that. Another thing that you want to do is to very, very, very slowly build. You want like a slow build, because again, we are turning the dial from 0 all of the way to 10, right? How do you let it slowly build? You might say, my hand finds its way to your thigh. Yeah, do you feel that? Of course you do. Because the little fine hairs on your thigh are sticking up. Your fine hairs on your thigh are becoming erect in response to my hand. And actually, you now have goosebumps on your skin, electricity and tingles. You like that so much. With my hand just kind of snaking and dancing up and down your thigh, while you listen to the waves crashing, while you sip on your cocktail, while your lips find their way to my chest. But no, I stop you, because your lips aren't going to find their way to my chest. Not just yet. Build slowly. Okay? What most men would do if they were speaking to a woman like that, you see, once we spoke about lips on chest, they're going to just dive into that and go as far and as fast as possible. Take your time with it. Let it simmer. Because something most men don't know is the women who you see, like every single woman you know, has the potential and the capacity to enjoy sex to a far greater degree than you ever could. Every single woman you know. You don't know a single woman who, if she is turned on to the best of her ability, isn't going to have a way better time than you. You go, is that true? No, it is. Go online, look at, say, female orgasms, have a look, and ask yourself if you've ever had one that looks even 20% of what you see them go through. Wave after wave, multiple, they're crying afterwards, it's something else. Ours are not like that at all. But they need to reach that point, right? And a huge thing that's important for women when it comes to that kind of stuff is actually comfort as well. So, they say like the biggest erogenous zone is actually up here, and it's definitely true for women. The more comfortable she is, the more she's going to allow herself to relax into what's actually happening. And the way you make her feel comfortable is, well, firstly by being a man that she can trust. Another way is to celebrate female sexuality. Okay? So no sort of slut shaming or anything like that. That's just absolutely terrible. Another thing is to give her reassurance about how sexy you think she is. In the dating space, we always tell men to never really go too far with expressing how attractive women are. Like, you're not that impressed by her looks, and that is true that you shouldn't be. However, in the bedroom, when you're actually in the act, this is the time, because the hotter that she feels like she is, the more explosive the whole thing will be. Now, the thing is this, there's a lot more I could say on this topic, but I think you can imagine that if I haven't demonetized myself already, I'm clearly at risk of doing so. What I will just say is this: you want to build, and you want to build, and you want to build, and you want to build. Take your time, okay? We all know the end goal, okay? But from the starting point to the end goal, it's a journey, it's a voyage, it's an exploration. You see how like women tend to go shopping. They go shopping differently to us. When I go shopping, it's I want a hat, I go, I look for a hat, buy the hat, I'm done. It's like in and out. When women go shopping, they enjoy the act of shopping, walking around, looking and contemplating, what if I wore this scarf with those shoes? What if I wore these shoes with that jacket? What if I wore that jacket with these jeans? That is actually fun for them, the actual act of shopping itself. Whereas that tends to not be the case for men. For us, it's a means to an end. If you can look at sex that way, if you can, where you're embracing the experience itself, everything from 0 to 100, everything from 0 to 10, you will find you will be in for some very, very, very explosive experiences. Although now we're speaking less about speaking dirty, more about the act itself, but I think the point still does stand. So with that, I will say thank you for your time, thank you for watching. I do appreciate you for being here. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you appreciate this content, and take care.